you're going to be doing this week is taking all of your hamburger pieces, and you should have 3 unless you made more. For a starter, then you should have a developer and then a closer, and I don't have those right here with me. But we're going to take all the information on our pre-writing and write our story on regular paper, and we're going to double space it. So we're going to talk about that in a minute, but first we need to go over one thing. And you should have this paper right here. This is your weak and strong word list, okay? So we have some adjectives over here, we have some verbs, and we have another adjective because I couldn't fit it on this page. So what these are is we have like the word bad, good, mean, nice, big or full, pretty or ugly, the word see, what you have see, or you saw something, or you're looking at something, a lot, say or said, get, got, or has got, go and went, come, came. These are all what we're going to call weak words. So it says weak up here. And what that means is they're just not very specific and they don't give us a lot of information. So we're going to try not to use these words when we write our story. And we're going to try to replace them with a, strong word. A strong word means it has a lot of meaning behind it. So here's an example. If somebody says, well, that is a good ship. Well, what do they mean? We don't really know. They could mean it's good like it's fast. They could mean it's good like it's really nice looking. They could mean it's good like it's well built. So we don't know. So that's why this is a weak word, because it could mean lots of different things. So we need to replace it with one of these more specific words. So as you're going through your story and you're replacing things with, placing some of these weak words with a stronger one, and you say, well, I don't see the word that I want to put on this list. Maybe you're trying to think of a better word for nice, and you did, but it's not on this list. Well, that's fine. You can still use it. This list is just examples, okay? There are probably more. In fact, I know there's more words than what's in this example. So, but these just give you an idea, and maybe they'll jog your memory for something even better. So, you look over this, and you should have a paper that looks like this, okay? And I emailed it. I did not give you this paper. I emailed this to your parents, so hopefully they printed this out. If not, and you can't print anything, you're free to, they can write these sentences on a piece of paper, or you can write them on a piece of paper real quick, pause the video, and then you can work along with us. Just leave some space in between each one because we're going to do a little bit of writing. So what this practice is going to be is practice using strong words. So we're going to find the weak ones and replace them with a strong one. So let's look at the first one. It says, the big house was made with pretty rocks. So, sorry. Okay, so the big house was made with pretty rocks. Do you notice any weak words on here? So look at your word list. See if you can find any of these weak words. The big. How about big? Is big a weak one? Right here. It is. So what we're going to do is we're going to circle the word big, because that's a weak word. We're going to have to change it. Is there any more? House was made. Is made one? No, that's not on our list. With pretty. How about pretty? Is that on our list? Right here. There you go. So we're going to circle pretty. Okay. The big house was made with pretty rocks. So those are our two we're going to have to change. So what can we replace big with? Okay, we need to find a better word than big. Here's our box. So we're going to look in there, and this is describing a what? A house. So which one of these? I'm just going to pick from something here. You don't have to pick the same one I do. How about gigantic? We can use that. We can use gigantic. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark that out, and then we're going to write gigantic. right here. So we're going to replace that with gigantic. Now we got to replace pretty. Okay, let's see, where's that? Right here. So we're talking about a giant house, gigantic house made with what kind of rocks? Some word for pretty rocks. How about dazzling? We'll use dazzling. How's that sound? That's like beautiful, maybe even kind of sparkling a little bit. We'll put dazzling here. Let's see. Okay, so now we have fixed our sentence, and that's all you have to do. So we'll do this one. I'll do it a little quicker. Okay, we're going to do these first three together. Sam went to the playground a lot. Which one do you see here? Should be this one. A lot. Okay, and we have it right here. So this is about someone going to the playground a lot. So we can put what? How about often? We could also put regularly. He went regularly, repeatedly, frequently. All of those are good. But I'm going to put often. Okay, now let's do the next one because there's not any more for this. There were a lot. Oh, look, there's a lot again. All right, there were a lot of good. Oh, how about good? Wasn't that one? We have good on here. We have bad. Yep, there's good. Okay, so that's kind of a weak word because we're not really sure what good means. Pets at the pet store. Okay, so we have a lot of good pets. So what can we put instead of a lot? There were a plethora. Or a batch. Now it sounds like you're hatching animals or something. We can do a bunch, right? Or a collection. That would be cool for a collection of good pets. But we're going to replace good. There were a collection. A collection of good pets. Okay, another word for good for pets. Where is that? Right here. How about, do we have something for cute maybe? Cute would be a good word. Let's see, how about precious? Okay, P-R-E-C-I-O-U-S. R-E-C-I-O-U-S. Or you could put cute. Oops. Looks like Kate. I have my other paper underneath it. Okay, so we can have precious or cute, and that kind of gives us a better idea of what good means. The precious pets at the store. Okay, so I'm gonna let you do the last three here on your own, and we'll check them when you get back to class. And this will just give you some practice before you write your paper, so you can watch for not using weak words, and we want to try to get some better words. So, and remember, like this one, cute. Cute is not on here, so just because it's not on the list doesn't mean you can't use it. You can definitely use it. Just try to find something better to replace some of these words. Okay, so we're ready to start doing something with your paper now. So that means you're going to need these now. And we're going to look at some of these. You don't have to use these, but we will start using them more, okay? These are transition words for your paragraphs, okay? As you do different paragraphs for this, these are good ways to start your story, okay? One day, a long time ago, one dark night, and these are just ideas. You may want to start it differently, so you don't have to pick one of these, but these are here to help you. The middle of our paragraph, these are for the middle of your story, sorry. These are developer words. So a lot of them are sequence words that tells you, well, this is happening next, or soon after, before long, by this point, or during, in the meantime, when they arrive to a certain place, okay, eventually, all of that stuff. Those are good for your developer paragraphs to start one of them. So this way, if you're wondering, how do I start my paragraph? Because this doesn't tell you how to start it. We wrote something down here on how to end it to go to the next one. but we don't have anything on here about how to start it. So these are here to help you figure out ways to start writing your next paragraph. And then of course we have our closer words for our last paragraph of the whole story, the very end. And here are some ideas that signal to your reader this is the last paragraph, right? In the long run, nevertheless, or at long last. Now you don't have to use so many of these. You may want to wait and use one of these words for the very last bottom bun of your whole story, right? The closer bun down here. Because sometimes they have these, so it's up to you. So anyway, those are going to help you with your story. So look at those when you're first starting your paragraphs. Now remember, you don't have to use these. You can write whatever you want on there, especially for this first one. So now let's talk about how to write your story, okay? Now your title's going to go up here. Don't write this because I'm just showing you. Okay, so your title is going to sit up here on this top line of your story. That's where it should be sitting. And you can go ahead and put your name on your paper so it doesn't get mixed up. Let's see. You can put it up here or you can put it over here. It doesn't matter to me. I kind of prefer over here, but I'm not going to be a stickler about it. Sorry. So when you first start writing, you're going to start your paragraph off, your first one, with one of these if you would like, or you can make up your own. And we're going to come down here. Now none of these have writing on them, so I can pick this thing up. Okay, so we're going to skip this because this goes at the end, right? And so we'll be here. This is so hard to do with one hand. Okay, so we can talk first about our setting if you want to, because this is right down here. So we're just going to flip through this. So you start writing, and what we're going to do is we're going to do something called indenting. So that means we move over. Now you don't have to write this arrow if you don't want to. That's not really supposed to be there, but I'm just showing you. So this will be for your paragraph 1. And I'm going to write here. Paragraph number 1. This is your starter, right? Okay, and again, you don't have to write any of this on your paper unless you just want to for some reason. And this is where we're going to start writing. So if I want to start my paragraph out off as a long time ago, I can start that here. A long time ago. And if I had the setting and mood here was a mountain. A long time ago on a far away, I'm not writing this whole story anyway, just a little bit here. On a faraway mountain. And then I can keep going. Now you notice I did something. I skipped a line here and wrote my next line here. Okay, this is called double spacing. That means you only write on every 2 lines, because 2 means what? Double, okay? So you want to double space this. If you were typing, they have a setting for doing double spacing, and it puts space in between each one. Now we're doing this so I can come in after I read your story and correct things or make notes on here for you. And it allows you to correct some stuff too. So we're going to do double spacing. So as you write, you're going to write like this, and you're going to keep going. And then you can, if you have descriptions and stuff about your mountain, you write all that. Then we can move to this, and I have some cheese to go with my character. Then I can start writing about what they're doing. Don't y'all love my handwriting? This is what I used to do when I was in kindergarten or whatever, and I couldn't really write words very well. This is my letters. And I can add some elaboration and support to that, and write that, and notice I'm still skipping a line. Then you're going to keep going and get to the important thing that's going to happen in this paragraph. We're going to keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. Oh, and I got some 5 cents deep description to go with my event. So maybe what I'm seeing, while the event's happening. Oh, there, I'll put a period. That's a long sentence, huh? Yeah. Oops, broke my pencil. So we're gonna keep talking about all that, and I add my description. Blah, blah, blah. Holler. Okay. Let's put this so we figure out how to transition over into the next paragraph. So now I'm gonna write that here. Maybe it was a suspense or a shock 'em. Oh, and you know that suddenly so-and-so disappeared. You know, I'll put my other exclamation. Ah, okay. Now we're done, all right? So now we can move over and we can start our next one, paragraph number 2, developer. Ta-da, okay. So then, voila. Okay, that's my developer one. Just pretend like you don't see that. Okay, looks exactly the same. So this is my developer now. And of course, we're gonna skip this part. We're gonna do the same thing. Flip over. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, my burger's not cooperating. We'll put our, start out with whatever we're gonna talk about here. Maybe somebody disappeared, and the next one is in the house of an evil villain. And so I can say, what's a good thing? How about wild deer? Meanwhile, I like that one. Okay. Meanwhile, in the house of the evil villain, house of the blah 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 blah, the evil villain. He was doing something, and then the person that disappeared suddenly appeared there. Okay, and so we can just keep on writing our story. I'm going to keep flipping through everything, talk about collaboration, support with everything, and we'll keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh no, look, I'm at the bottom of the page. What do we do now? Well, if you want to, you can write on the back, but you can see through it. So if that bothers you, guess what? Oh, and you still have to skip lines. So if you don't want to write on the back of that, you can write here. But if you write here, guess what you have to do? We'll start at the top, because we don't have a title for this page. So see, this one we had a title, so we had to skip a line because we wrote something on that one. We didn't write anything on that one. So we can just start the very first part right here. So, and you don't want to start your story up here. This is the space for the title, okay? We don't want to mess with that. But if you're using another sheet of paper, guess what you got to put somewhere? Your name, because we don't want to lose one and then I only get half your story. So, keep talking about that. Finish my paragraph, blah, blah, blah. Then what do? Over there. We're going to come down here when we're done. And how do we link it to the next one? Boop. We're going to write whatever's there. Linking up my bottom bond to the next one. And done. Okay. Then, what do we do after that? Boop. Indent for paragraph number 3, which is your what? Since we're only doing 3 paragraphs this time, that's your closer. So we'll get our closer paragraph pre-writing, and we'll do the whole same thing. Okay, start talking about that. Oh, but we do have to probably pick one of these, but you don't have to. Let's see. I will go with finally. Maybe the boy came back and they were rescued him and this and that. And the whole town rejoiced, and everyone was happy because the young prince, because that's who he was. I just made that up suddenly, but we'll put that at the beginning of the story. Okay. Young prince. This is a young prince. Okay. Okay. They came back to the village, and everyone was super happy, and they had a big party and everything. And what am I gonna do for the last one? Remember what the options were for that? I don't have that page anymore, but I gave that to y'all. So the options for the last one Let's see, maybe he learned a lesson. Never, let's see. He learned to never venture into the dark mountains again. Boop, the end. There's no story. Okay, so that's how you're going to write your story. Make sure you double space. When you're done, you can go back and check for where did it go. You can check for these if you maybe have written some accidentally, and you can fix them, or you can just cross them out and write what you want to put in there instead, a stronger word above it if you want to, or you can erase them and write it in, but sometimes it won't fit. So like if you accidentally put bad and you want to put disobedient, that's not the same size word, so this one may not fit there, so you may have to do the cross out thing and just write it above it. So, and that's fine with me, because we're not going to be super picky about our papers, because this is your first good one. So okay, so make sure you do this and finish your last 3. Then you have your vocabulary and your what's it called, creative journaling for your next poem, and try to write your paper if you can. And I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.